All right, hello and welcome to Introduction to Business Online. My name is Nate. I'm your instructor. Now you know what I look like. So I want to take about 10 minutes and talk about the course menu. So this is your first of two videos on the welcome section of the Blackboard site. This one covers the course menu and what's in each section of the menu. And then the second video that I'm going to record is about rules of the road for the course, on how to communicate with me, how to submit work, how I deal with late assignments, and all that good stuff. So make sure you check out both of those. Probably a good idea to have the Blackboard site up in a separate window tab if you can on your computer right now, and then you can see those 9 sections of the menu in front of you as I dive into each of these in more detail. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay. So under item 1, the welcome video and syllabus, make sure you print off the syllabus. Page 4 of the syllabus has the due dates, the point values, how I do A versus B versus C level work as far as grades. The main thing you need to know in this class is, as far as assessments, it's strictly the written work. So I don't use Connect. Those of you who are familiar with Connect, I don't like it. I think it's buggy and it's also expensive. And I prefer written work. So your assessments in this course are completely based off of your written assignments. So make sure you pay real good attention when I get into the written section of the course and how to submit assignments and the rubric for that, because that is how you are getting graded. The good news is no Connect, so you don't have to deal with Learn Smarts. You don't have to deal with online quizzes and exams. And you can also use an older version of the textbook. So from a resource standpoint, use textbook. $10, $15, and then no other fee on that. So I'm trying to keep your costs down. That's why we're doing it in this format. Okay, so item 2 on your course menu is announcements. I'm sure you're familiar with these. That's where I communicate everything out in the course. Just a cautionary note here, make sure you have your right email under your student login section when you so that you're getting the course announcements. So I push these announcements out via email, and if you're not getting my emails, you don't know what's going on in the course and you might miss some stuff. So make sure you have the correct email. I need you to take care of that on your end. If you're not getting the course emails, you can go to the Grossmont website, grossmont.edu. You can click on Quick Links. You can then go on to Online Learning Success and then click on Student, and then you'll see a bunch of links there. And student login is where you can go in and correct your email address. So make sure you have a proper email that you're getting the course announcements. Item 3 on your course menu, weekly calendar. That's probably the most important menu link for you over the next 6 weeks. So that tells you everything you need to do for each week. So I've bucketed it, and you've got your reading assignments, you've got your videos, and you've got the actual assignments. Everything is there by week. With links to all the content. So that's the easiest portal for you to go to do all your stuff each week. The rest of the course menu, items 4, 5, 6, and 7, are individual pockets of stuff that are already listed under your weekly calendar. So the weekly calendar has in there as links, but I want to give you more detail on these as well, because there's a couple things you need to know. So item 4 is your instructor lectures. That's me, but without my mug, just me doing audio recordings over PowerPoint lectures. So I have those for each chapter, and it's shorter versions than the full-fledged publisher PowerPoint, but this is my voice over those lectures, explaining some key terms. Closest we can get is if I was actually lecturing in the classroom. You can hear my voice. And I definitely recommend that you watch those instructor lectures before you complete the written assignments. They are PowerPoints, so you'll need to have Microsoft PowerPoint to open those. And I ask, it's probably a good idea to, when you open them, save them off to your desktop. Right-click the file, save it to your desktop before you open it. The audio makes the files large, and it can bog up your computer and freeze up if you're running it and you have a bunch of online tabs open at the same time. So right-click those instructor lecture files, save them to your desktop, and then open them from there, and they'll run better that way. You also need to make sure that when you open that PowerPoint, that it's in presentation mode, the full screen mode. That's what activates the audio so that you can hear my voice and get the content related to those chapters. So that's important that you look at those. If you don't have Microsoft PowerPoint, I've also saved those instructor lectures as presentation files and posted them on YouTube, and you'll see the links for those YouTube files listed there as well. So you have that as a backup option. Item 5 is the publisher, i.e. textbook PowerPoints. So those are the full PowerPoints. Those are more expansive than my lectures. These are optional. You don't have to look at these. But if you don't have the book in front of you and you're trying to complete an assignment, these can be a good resource for you to go in and look up content. But they do have more content in these PowerPoints than I'm expecting you to know to complete the assignments. Now notice I said if you don't have the book in front of you, you can look at these publisher chapter PowerPoints. I didn't say these replace the book. You need the book. You're going to need to research these terms in order to complete the assignments because the questions come from those key terms and also the videos. So those PowerPoints are not a substitute for having the book. You're going to need the book. But if you don't have the book in front of you, you're working remotely in a mobile situation, you can use those as well. That's the chapter PowerPoints. Item 6 is the videos. So these are case study videos where they're going to feature a business and apply the key terms from that chapter to that business. And the discussion board assignments, which are your written assignments, those questions that are asked in those assignments come directly from these videos. So you must watch these videos in order to complete the written assignments. Much like my lectures, these are big files, so same thing there. I encourage you to save them off to your desktop, right-click the file, save it to your desktop, and then open it there and run it from there so it doesn't bog down your computer. These are MP files, so you should be able to open these no problem. Watch the videos before you complete the assignments. Number 7, the study guide. So the study guide is by week and then by chapter, the key terms you need to know for each chapter. Item to note there is that the page numbers that are listed in the study guide are from the 11th edition of the textbook. I know you guys are probably resourcing an older version of the textbook, which is fine. Just know that the page numbers might be slightly different. So when you look at the study guide and you have an older version of the textbook, just go to the end of the chapter where the key terms are, and you can find those terms there, read them, and get your information from there. I encourage you to read the study guide before you complete the assignments because you need to know those terms so that you can apply those terms into your answers in the written assignments. You need to know the terms before you can do the work. Does that make sense? And the study guide tells you what you need to know. The study guide is in there as a Google Doc, and it's shared with you, so you have that live link into that active document. If you don't have Google Apps, Google Docs, Google Drive, then I encourage you to get it because it's real handy, especially for online format. I like to put a lot of stuff in Google format because the document doesn't have to have multiple versions. But if you don't have Google, there's also those study guides are also saved as a PDF file, and you can open it up in that format as well. But I encourage you, if you have Gmail, then you've got Google Drive. And if you have Google Drive, you have access to Google Docs, their version of Word, Google Slides, their version of PowerPoint, Google Sheets, their version of Excel. And it's all free, and it's amazing stuff. So anyways, that's the study guide, number 7. Number 8, discussion board rubric. Ooh, that's an important one. You definitely want to read the discussion board rubric before you complete your written work. The rubric is simply me giving you copious detail on what you need to do for an A versus B versus C level quality of work on your written assignments. So please read the discussion board rubric before you complete your written assignments. And as far as my grading on written work, answering the questions and submitting the assignment is probably not going to get you an A grade. So that's what the rubric is all about, is telling you here's what you need to do to go above and beyond the assignment request if you want to get an A or a B letter grade on that. So it's going further than just answering the questions and doing more outside research and having more critical thinking and all that kind of stuff. So check the rubric out. It gives you good detail on that, on how to get the grade that you want in this class. That's what this is all about. So that's number 7. That's number 8, I'm sorry, the discussion board rubric. And then lastly, item 9 on your discussion board menu is the discussion boards themselves. So these are the assignments. Make sure you look at the discussion board instructions, which is the first thing you'll see when you open up the discussion board forum. Key things there are submit only PDFs. Those I can always open up in an online world, and I need you to submit all your written work, the attachments that you put into your discussion board thread, as PDFs so that I can open them. And if you don't, and I can't open it, that assignment is not received, and you'll need to resubmit it. And if it's late, I'm sorry, but we need to work in the PDF format because it's really hard for me when I have all these different versions of Word, and I can't always open them all in an online format, and then I got to chase you down and resubmit, and that slows us all down. So save everything as a PDF. I don't take emails for your discussion board, so if you're for some reason can't get on Blackboard and you shoot me your discussion board assignment as an email, it is not received in that format. I need to have it in a discussion board posted there because that links to my grade sheet, and it's very time consuming for me to try to chase down emails, open up the document, save it into Blackboard. That's really kind of not my job to do that. So I need you guys to work in the proper format, which is post everything in discussion board, please. Email assignments, not received. I do not take them in that format. Also make sure that you cite your sources. And again, check that rubric so you know what you need to do to get that awesome grade that you want to get. I guess what I would say about discussion boards, and I'm sure many of you are probably familiar with doing discussion boards in other classes. My discussion boards are really mini research papers. So that's where you are submitting your research papers. So they're not just like opinion comment stuff or kind of text messagey opinion stuff on discussion boards, and maybe in some other classes your discussion boards were more informal and just kind of discussion-y. I like to put the written work in the discussion board format, in the discussion board form of the course, because then you can see other students' work and you can reply to other students' work, which is also part of what you need to do in the discussion boards. So just know that it's really where you're kind of submitting your mini research papers. I'm sure you have questions about the assignments and how many pages do these written assignments need to be, and how many sources do I need to do, and what's the formatting and all that kind of stuff. That's all listed in the discussion board assignment section, and it's also listed in the discussion board rubric. So I won't bore you with all those details there. You can check that out on your own. All right, thanks for listening. The next video you need to watch is the rules of the road. Looking forward to working with you all, and hope we have a great summer together.